Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So welcome everyone. Thank you very much for being here on this auspicious occasion. What is today? Oh, okay. You sound very enthusiastic. You're absorbed in hearing the Bhagavad Gita all day. Yes, today is Gita Jayanti Day, which means it is the auspicious day where the Gita was spoken. Ooh, very powerful. So we'd like to thank our two wonderful narrators, Radharaman Prabhu and Dalmore Prabhu, and I think also Adi Karta Prabhu was here earlier, but I saw him out on the street distributing Bhagavad Gitas now, which is the ultimate effect of speaking the Bhagavad Gita. So now we're going to have a little drama. Who likes drama? Whose life is already a drama? Yeah, exactly. So we're going to have a little drama now. Add a little drama to our life. We'd also like to thank, where did she go? She went outside, but we would like to thank Her Grace Jagamohini Mataji. So she has really done a lot to organize the day and put everything together. And we'd like to also encourage everyone, please, if you don't already have a Bhagavad Gita, please make sure you get one today. It's an auspicious day to receive the Bhagavad Gita. And it's an auspicious day to also give the Bhagavad Gita. So you can give it as a gift. So here she is, Mother Jagamohini. Haribol! So we'd like to thank her very much for her wonderful efforts today to put on this wonderful event. So yes, so we're going to have a little drama now. And we've been practicing this for about 6 months. So get your hopes up really high. The title of this drama is Life-Changing Gita. What's the title? Life-Changing Gita. Okay. So there's about 17 of us. We're all hiding behind here. We're going to put this drama on for you. So we hope that you will enjoy the show. Hare Krishna. So for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada, the assembled Vaishnavas, and their lordships, we present the Life-Changing Gita. Haribol!
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Oh, first day, great.
Tom's been working at his job for the last year. He's very excited, very inspired, very enthusiastic. His hopes for a great future are high. Enters his boss.
Yeah, I just need to sort out something. Yes, yeah. I'll call you back in 5 minutes. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, okay, it's fine. Yeah, sure. Hey Tom.
Hi, how are you doing?
How are you, right?
Yeah, good,
nice
thanks.
to see you as always.
Yeah, thanks.
You're doing really well. Your performance has been really great in the company.
Thank you very much.
Everybody's happy when I'm getting so much good feedback from the management also.
Okay.
But
Thanks.
unfortunately, Tom, I just wanted to say something, sad news. There's a Brexit going on and there are so many issues at the moment, what's happening in the world at the moment. So, and the recession and so much cut down in the company and everything, cut down on the company cost, the employee cost. So unfortunately, we'll have to get rid of some of the staffs.
Okay.
And the company has decided that the person who joined the last will be the first to leave. So unfortunately, you're doing really well. Your performance has been really amazing. But it's sad that we're going to have to leave you, unfortunately.
Okay.
Sorry, Tom. You can come and see me in the office later on, but I'm sorry.
Temporary. Oh, okay, no problem, I guess.
as you know, it's all temporary anyway. Everything is temporary in the world. So I'm sure you will get on it. You'll get another job somewhere.
Okay.
All
Well,
the best.
thank you very much.
Take care.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, it was a good job, and we were having a good time. But I guess if that's what's going to happen, then so be it. It's not the end of the world. Just move on and get on with life. Got a little bit of money in my pocket, so yeah. Maybe I just go and have a little drink. Let's move on. Let's get on with life. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, good to see you. Thank you very much.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
How's your job, mate? Going okay?
Well, if you should know, Jeff, actually,
On your case, Tom.
yeah, a little bit.
Looking a little down, Tom.
Yeah, a
What's
little
wrong
bit.
with you?
Well, actually, today I lost my job.
No way.
Yeah, it was going really well, and then all of a sudden, apparently some problems, and they had to get rid of me. So, yeah, that's that. Yeah.
They always say, last to come,
First to go, yeah, that's what he said as well. Yeah. Okay,
It's
yeah.
all temporary, mate. It's all temporary.
Anyway,
Have a double.
have a double, okay, thank you.
Have a triple.
Oh,
Go,
triple,
fill her up there,
okay,
Tom.
thank you.
Drown your sorrows, mate. Cure for all ills, they say.
Oh, okay.
Good stuff, eh?
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Take care, mate.
Life.
Alright, closing time,
Closing time,
everybody.
okay.
Alright, Tom, you've been here all night, mate.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. Yeah, I'm going to get straight back.
Trying to pay up. Come on, Tom.
Thank you.
Offer up. Put your card on the table, Tom.
Oh, Krishna. Oh, no. Oh, no, where's my wallet? Oh, no.
Your wallet.
Jeff, I've lost my wallet.
Lost your
You know, I always pay, and now I've lost my wallet for some reason.
Lost your wallet.
Yeah, I've lost my job, and now my wallet. What's going on?
Let's see. Hey, Phil, he said he's lost his wallet. Should we call
I
the boys
can't
up?
find it anywhere. Come on, Jeff, you always know I always
Don't
pay.
worry, Tom. We know you're good for it here. Just call it a tenner. And
I haven't even got a tenner. I haven't even got £10.
It's all right. Don't worry. Man down on his luck. It's all right. Tom, you know what?
You can let me off.
Yeah, I'll let you off. No problem. I'm going to take the rest of this drink here, though.
Okay.
You're not having that.
Oh,
And Tom, you'll get your wallet back. You're a good lad.
yeah.
You'll get another job,
Okay.
because it's all temporary, mate. It's just all temporary.
Yeah, that's what my boss said as well. Okay. So I've lost my job, and now I've lost my wallet, and what to do with my life?
It's not your wallet, Tom, but there you go.
Oh, okay, thank you. At least I can always rely on my most beloved Sarah. We've been together for a little bit of time now, and I really love her. I think one day we're going to get married. Okay, let's give her a call. Sarah?
Hello?
Sarah, my beloved.
Oh,
so lovely
is it,
to hear
is
from
this
you.
Tom?
Yeah, of course it's me. You always know
Be
it's
quiet,
me.
I'm on the phone with Tom. Shh, be quiet.
Sarah?
So don't mind him, Tom. This
Sarah,
is-
who's that
No,
there?
no, it's okay, Tom.
What's
How are
going
you,
on?
Tom? Well,
I'm okay. Well, not really okay, but what's going on, Sarah? Are you okay?
shh, don't you be quiet, please. I'm on the phone with Tom.
Is there someone there with you?
Well, Tom, there's something I've been meaning to tell you.
What, Sarah? What? What have you been meaning to tell me?
I think, our relationship has run its course, Tom.
Run its course? What do you mean run its course?
These things, it wasn't
We're
meant
in
to last
love.
forever.
We love each other.
Well,
Hello, Sarah.
Shh, be quiet.
We love each other lots and loads.
Well, Tom, I just have to say, it's over.
Over. Oh my God.
Let's go, Sarah. Let's go.
It's okay, Tom.
Oh my God. My job. My money, all my money's gone, and now my girlfriend, my beloved Sarah, she's gone. What am I going to do? It seems like everything's just coming against me, and I have nothing I can do about it. Let me go and see my good friend Mike, my best friend since childhood. We tell each other everything. He's always there for me, always there. And yeah, let me go and see him. Maybe he can console me. Hey guys, how's it going? Yeah, I'm just going to go and see Mike. How's it going?
You didn't hear anything, Tom?
What do you mean?
Mike, your best friend, he had an accident.
What do you mean Mike had an accident?
He had an accident on a motorway. He had a car accident.
He had a car accident?
It was a big crash yesterday and then he died.
What do you mean? Oh my God.
Oh, that's very good.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Not Mike.
All the best.
Oh my God, not Mike. Oh my God. Not Mike as well. What's happening to my life? It just seems that nothing's going my way. What do I do? Oh my God. Oh my God, what am I going to do in my life? I have no one, I have nothing. My job, my money, my girlfriend, my best friend who I love. In times like these, I try to turn to God, but it just seems that He's not always there. It feels like I'm on a battlefield, and I'm fighting, and I'm struggling, and I'm fighting, and I don't know what to do anymore. You know what? I give up. I totally give up. That's it. I'm done. I give up.
The next day, Tom's walking down Oxford Street.
No, but hey guys. Yeah, good. How's it
Hi,
going?
nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
You're very enthusiastic.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm okay. I'm
But
okay.
you look a little bit upset. What's your name?
Yeah. My name's Tom.
Oh, Tom.
Yeah.
You know, today, we're doing the her now, we're chanting and dancing on the streets, spreading
Okay.
the name of God,
Okay.
which is very simple process
Okay.
in this age of Kali Yuga. We got this wonderful devotee. You see, the Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada has
yeah.
given us this wonderful, Srila Prabhupada has given us this wonderful, this Krishna
Okay.
consciousness movement.
And I want me to have it?
Yes, please, you can have
Okay.
this book. And we got a wonderful flyer for you every day, just down the road here, on the Soho Street.
Okay.
We got a wonderful temple there. We sell the free food. We have a question and answers. And we have
Okay.
a class every day at 1 o'clock. Why don't
Okay.
you pop in one day?
Okay.
It'd be very nice to
Okay.
see you
I can
there.
give it a go. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, please come, please come.
So this will help me become more happy, do you think? Or
Krishna consciousness is eternal. It'll make you happy.
okay.
So please come. It's amazing.
I'll have a look and I'll come and check it out. Soho Street. Yeah.
Yes, Soho
Nice to
Street,
meet you.
exactly, yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Tom.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Okay, so yeah, life's not so good right now, but these guys look pretty happy. Yeah, he said some... I didn't really catch a lot of the things he said, but he's given me a nice book and a flyer. The address is here, Soho Street, London. Find happiness, chant and be happy. Find happiness through mantra meditation. Free vegetarian meal, okay? Why not? Let's go.
The next day at ISKCON-London, 10 Soho Street, Datani Maharaj is giving class.
Hi, wish everyone. Thank you for coming to this wonderful day today. Today is one of the most auspicious days. It's the appearance day of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Yay!
Hey,
Hi, Krishna, Tom.
good to see you again.
Yeah, nice to see you. We saw you yesterday on
Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yes, so in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna is giving very simple message. Very simple message. This world is a dukkhalayama sashvatam. It's full of misery and temporary.
Okay.
There's nothing permanent in this material world. Everything is temporary. Krishna says also in the Bhagavad Gita, Matra sparshastu konteya, shritoshas dukkha agama payino nityas, tam stitikshava bharata. All the happiness and distress, they come and go. Nothing stays permanent. So why to worry? Why to rely on this material world? It's a simple message Krishna is giving. Keep Krishna in the center, chant the name of Krishna, and be happy. It's very easy. Krishna also says in the Bhagavad Gita that you can attain Him just by remembering His activities and His pastimes. You can remember Him. And there's a world beyond this material world, which is called Goloka Vrindavan Dham. Attaining that Goloka Vrindavan Dham, you can attain the permanent peace and happiness. There's no distress there. Everybody is happy, joyful. And we can practice the same in this material world by just chanting the name of Krishna. Everyone please say, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So thank you all for coming once again. And today we'll be reciting the whole Bhagavad Gita later on today. So please everyone stay. It's a wonderful, auspicious day. And I would also like to say, if anyone likes to get Bhagavad Gita, we'd like to also give one to Tom for staying with us. And thank you for coming. And Tom, this is a Bhagavad Gita we'd like to give you.
Thank you very much.
Special gift from us. And please read it every day and practice.
Thank you very much.
In your life.
Thank you.
Chant the name of Krishna. Practice Bhagavad Gita. And Krishna says also in the Bhagavad Gita that one who preaches the message of Bhagavad Gita to others is very dear to Krishna.
Okay, thank you very
It's
much.
a very special book and it's a very special day to start reading this Bhagavad Gita.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. So we'll see you soon. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Okay, so Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so that was really nice of him to give me that Bhagavad Gita, my first time in the temple, and it seemed really nice. They had some nice statues on the altar, and it was a nice smell, and yeah, those people seemed very friendly as well. It's a nice book. Yeah, it seems very nice. You know, what he was saying was true as well. Like, I'm really suffering right now, but he says that's just due to this material world that we're living in. This suffering is just due to this world, and actually there's a way to get out of it, and there's a way to attain a state of happiness without having to suffer. And he said about Goloka Vrindavan, where that's a place where none of this exists. So, yeah, I think this is a really amazing book, amazing philosophy. And I think this might be what I'm going to do. I think this might be what I'm going to follow. It's all making a lot of sense to me. I'm sure over time it will make more sense. Yeah, I'm gonna take this up and have a look. Okay.
2 years later, ISKCON-London, Gita Jayanti Day, Datani Maharaj giving class again.
So thank you for coming again. Today is a very wonderful, auspicious day. Again, we are here on Gita Jayanti. Krishna spoke this message. I'd like to welcome all the senior Vaishnavas and all the devotees to shower the blessings upon me so we can do some progress in our Krishna consciousness life. So yes, so today again we're here, it's Gita Jayanti again, and I've got a wonderful news today. Exactly 2 years ago, we had a devotee named, a person called Tom, who just walked into the temple. And today is the initiation ceremony for Bhakta Tom. Haribo! So I request Bhakta Tom to come. So the initiation will be, ceremony will be taking place shortly. And this is such an amazing thing. You can see the Krishna consciousness is a life-changing for all of us. Imagine what we were before we came to Krishna consciousness. We were struggling. We were running around, looking for happiness. Everyone was on the same platform. So by just attaining the name of Krishna, just by remembering the name of Krishna, our life is completely different now. So we all should practice every day by chanting minimum 16 rounds and reading from the Gita, following the 4 regulative principles. It's a very easy process. You can attain the supreme destination. Isn't it? It's easy for everyone. So we'd like to kindly invite Bhakti Tom to come because we don't have much time. So thank you all for coming again, once again. We really appreciate you keep coming to the temple every day and take the wonderful darshan of the lordships here. So we'd like to invite Bhakti Tom. So please everyone chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So, our previous Bhakta Tom would no longer be Bhakta Tom anymore. Vivo!
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you Guru Maharaj.
Thank you. We really appreciate your association and all these wonderful services you're rendering to ISKCON-London,
Thank you.
especially going out on Harinam today. Do you remember 2 years back, me and Jai, we met you on the street?
Yeah, that was amazing. I remember that day. It was really, it was quite a special day actually.
Amazing.
It should really change my life.
Wow, great. So on the auspicious appearance, on the auspicious initiation day, he's got a new appearance now, and we will ask you to recite 4 regulatory principles. What are the 4 regulatory principles, Tom?
Guru Maharaj, they are no illicit sex, no intoxication, no gambling, and no meat eating.
How many rounds of chanting you have to do? How many rounds of japa you have to do?
16, Guru Maharaj.
Minimum 16.
Minimum 16, Guru Maharaj, yes, sorry.
So this is the thing. So we 4 regulatory principles and chanting 16 rounds minimum, which is must for all of us. Yeah. Okay. So on behalf of Srila Prabhupada and our Guru Parampara, we would like to give you the name on this very auspicious day. Very, very auspicious day.
call His grace. Gita Jayanti das. Haribo!
Thank you.
Everyone, please cheer up with loud Hare Krishna Mahamantra and give your blessings on to Gita Jayanti das. Haribo!
Hare Krishna. Haribo! So we would like to thank all the devotees who participated in this drama. We had musical accompaniment by His Grace Dalmore Prabhu. And the masterminds behind this drama were Bhakta Davo and Bhakta Dan. Haribo! Hare Krishna. Hari Hari.
Big Haribo for His Grace Jayanti Prabhu.
One thing I just wanted to say, a special thanks to His Grace Jayanti Prabhu, a very, very special devotee. He is a temple president, obviously everyone knows, but when he's with you, he will render any service. He will become your servant. And that's a real example we need to learn from the leaders. So please say 3 loud Haribos for His Grace Jayanti Prabhu. Haribo! So we're going to continue reciting the Bhagavad Gita now. So, Haribo! And the one thing we wanted to say, that how Gita, Bhagavad Gita can be life-changing for all of us. We saw from this example of Bhakta Tom that you go through so many sufferings in this world. Everything is temporary. So the main theme we wanted to keep was everything is temporary in this world. Nothing stays permanent. But when you get to Krishna, when you attain Krishna, it's all eternal, full of happiness, full of joy. So today is a very special day to take up this message in our life and recite the Bhagavad Gita and follow the Bhagavad Gita, teach Bhagavad Gita to others. Okay? Thank you very much again. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavad Gita Jayanti Ke! Jai! Say something?
No, we should. It starts at 6, so doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone's got time for about a 15-minute break. You can chant japa or whatever. Then we're going to do And we're going to recite the entire Bhagavad Gita in English. So if you have a copy of the Bhagavad Gita, I think it, Radha Mahaprabhu, will be projected on the screen as you go. Okay, so hopefully we have also our special guest, disciple of Srila Prabhupada, His Grace Adi Karta Prabhu, who's with us, and he will also be reciting Bhagavad Gita. So everyone can kind of just have about 15 minutes to get yourselves ready, because recitation will take about 3 hours. So it's a good long stint, but it is very purifying, very wonderful, and by the end you'll feel absolutely and completely refreshed. So like that. So you can get ready. Hare Krishna. Gita Jayanti Mahamahotsav Ki.
Yes, I'm going to put this back. Yeah, of course.
Namo Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschadeshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna. Drama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Go to Haripol, 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 and it's I go to Haripol. On it I go to Haripol, 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 and it I go to Haripol. Oh, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Premanande, Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivartakacharya Ashtarshada Shadashi, His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki, Go Premanande. All glory to the Summer devotees.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Bye. Singh Bhagwan ke Jai, Samaj ke Jai, Bhagwan ke Jai, Hari Bol. Yeah, I'm gonna set down.
Oh.
I'll sit there. I'm doing the recording also. So just to announce, there won't be any Gaura Aarti. We'll just continue through till 9 o'clock. So this was the only Aarti we had. Yes, it will, this will be full. Yeah. There are more. Yes, because he's got the project, he's got the slides. Slides. He has got the I don't know.
We're going to read the whole Bhagavad Gita in English now. It's going to take a couple of hours. So, what about the Arti? Are you studying for the Arti? I'm not studying for the Arti. Yeah. So, when was the Bhagavad Gita spoken? Anyone know? Okay, that was the last time it was spoken. When was it spoken before that?
To the sun god.
Huh? To the sun god. When was that?
4 million.
No, it was.
You just need to translate. You just need to open the Bhagavad Gita on the board.
Yeah,
That's all you need.
the English. But we need more readers with microphones. How many of you have read the whole Bhagavad Gita as it is? With the purports. All the purports. Okay, that's great. Well done. So, hopefully we'll get the English up. Does anyone know any Sanskrit shlokas from the Bhagavad Gita? Sanskrit? Nobody knows one. It's very important to learn some shlokas. You know one? Which one do you know? Huh? Oh, that's a good one. Very good. Engage your mind, always thinking of me. Offer your obeisance unto me. Is that the one? There's a lot of very important verses that really help you in life if you can remember them. Like one is Matra Sparshasta Kuntaya Sitos Nasukadukada Agama Payano Nityas Tam Tatakshashva Bharata. Anyone know what that means? The non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course of time are like the appearance and disappearance of the winter and summer seasons. They arise from sense perception, O sign of Bharata, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, for our benefit, for all of us, that happiness and distress comes and goes. You shouldn't get too disturbed when something goes wrong. You have to keep a cool head. Or if something good happens, don't get too carried away because it's temporary, it's not going to last. The only good thing is Krishna consciousness, that's permanent. Or another one is Dihino Smin Yata Dehe Komaram Yoganandra tata dehantara praptir tiras tatra namuyate. This is a very important verse. Krishna says, as the embodied soul continually passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at the time of death. So, our body's changing all the time. We had a young body, some of you have, and then you get an old body, but it's not you. It's only your body. You will get another body when you leave this body, but a self-realized person is not disturbed at the time of death. Elsewhere it says, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, that if somebody is afraid at the time of death, that means all their study of the scriptures and all their practices of bhakti yoga have been a waste of time. So we should know that, we're all spirit souls, and if we practice Krishna consciousness, we have a wonderful future. But don't try to be too happy in the material world, because Krishna says, Abrahma bhuvana loka puna avitano arjuna mamu pacha puna janma naiti mam atisurjana. He says, from the highest planet, Brahmaloka, down to the lowest, all are places of misery wherein repeated birth and death take place. But one who attains to my abode never takes birth again. Anyway, we're going to start here. So we're all going to chant along in English. We did the Sanskrit already. Is this one different? It's kind of smaller.
Yeah, 1 second.
I hope I can see it all right.
There's another bigger version.
Okay, so you have to help me because my voice is going to get really tired. So please say it loud and clear. We won't go too fast. And this is a very pleasing thing to Krishna, to hear everyone say the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna will be very happy, and it will take a couple of hours, but he will bestow his blessings upon us for doing this. This is called tapasya, austerity. To do something, to sit in one place. We can have a little break in the middle. When we get to the 8th chapter, we'll take a little break, and then we'll start again. So be tolerant and patient and attentive, and we'll have a wonderful experience. Okay, we'll start now. Everyone together. Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjaya, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did they do? Sanjaya said, O king, after looking over the army arranged in military formation by the sons of Pandu, King Duryodhana went to his teacher and spoke the following words. O my teacher, behold the great army of the sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, the son of Drupada. He needs a microphone. Yeah. Here in this army are many heroic bowmen equal in fighting to Bhima and Arjuna, great fighters like Yuyudhana, Virata and Drupada. There are also great, heroic, powerful fighters like Drishtaketu, Chaitanya, Kashiraj, Purujit, Kuntibhoja and Shaibya. There are the mighty Yudamanyu, the very powerful Uttamoja, the son of Subhadra and the sons of Draupadi. All these warriors are great chariot fighters. But for your information, O best of the Brahmins, let me tell you about the captains who are especially qualified to lead my military force. There are personalities like you, Bhishma, Karna, Kripa, Ashvatthama, everybody, Vikarna, and the sons of Somadatta, called Bhurishrava, who are always victorious in battle. There are many other heroes who are prepared to lay down their lives for my sake. All of them have weapons, and all are experienced in military science. Our strength is immeasurable. Everybody, we are perfectly protected by Grandfather Bhishma, whereas the strength of the Pandavas, carefully protected by Bhima, is limited. All of you must now give full support to Grandfather Bhishma as you stand at your respective strategic points into the phalanx of the army. Then Bhishma, the great valiant grandsire of the Kuru dynasty, the grandfather of the fighters, blew his conch shell very loudly, making a sound like the roar of a lion, giving Duryodhana joy. After that, the conch shells, drums, bugles, trumpets and horns were all suddenly sounded, and the combined sound was tumultuous. On the other side, both Lord Krishna and Arjuna, stationed on a great chariot drawn by white horses, and under their transcendental conch shells. Lord Krishna blew his conch shell called Panchajanya, Arjuna blew his to Devadatta, and Bhima, the voracious eater and performer of Gillian tasks, blew his terrific conch shell called Pandra. King Kunti blew his conch shell, Yananta Vijaya, and Nakula and Sahadev blew the Sugosha and Manipushpaka. That great archer, the king of Kashi, the great fighter Shikandi, Dristajumna, Virata, the unconquerable Satyaki, Drupada, the sons of Draupadi, and others, O king, such as the mighty armed son of Subhadra, all blew their respective conch shells. The blowing of these different conch shells became uproarious, vibrating both in the sky and on the earth. It shattered the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra. At that time, Arjuna, the son of Pandu, seated in the chariot bearing the flag marked with Hanuman, took up his bow and prepared to shoot his arrows. O king, after looking at the sons of Dhritarashtra drawn in military array, Arjuna then spoke to Krishna these words. Arjuna said, O infallible one, please draw my chariot between the two armies so that I may see those present here who desire to fight and with whom I must contend in this great trial of arms. Let me see those who have come here to fight. Wishing to please the evil-minded son of Dhritarashtra, Sanjaya said, O descendant of Bharata, as by Arjuna, Lord Krishna drew up the fine chariot in the midst of the armies of both parties. In the presence of Bhishma, Drona, and all the other chieftains of the world, the Lord said, Just behold, Partha, all the Kurus assembled here. There Arjuna could see, within the midst of the armies of both parties, his fathers, grandfathers, teachers, maternal uncles, brothers, sons, grandsons, friends, and also his fathers-in-law and well-wishers. When the son of Kunti, Arjuna, saw all these different grades of friends and relatives, he became overwhelmed with compassion and spoke thus. Arjuna said, My dear Krishna, seeing my friends and relatives present before me in such a fighting spirit, I feel the limbs of my body quivering, my mouth drying up. My whole body is trembling, my hair is standing on end, my bow Gandiva is slipping from my hand, and my skin is burning. I am now unable to stand here any longer. I am forgetting myself, and my mind is reeling. I see only cause of misfortune, O Krishna, killer of the Dikeshi demon. I do not see how any good can come from killing my own kinsman in this battle, nor can I, my dear Krishna, win in victory, kingdom, or happiness. O Govinda, of what avail to us a kingdom, happiness, or even life itself? And all those for whom we desire them are now arrayed on the battlefield. O Madhusudana, when teachers, fathers, sons, grandfathers, uncles, fathers-in-law, grandsons, brothers-in-law, and other relatives give up their lives and properties, now standing before me, why should I wish to kill them, even though they might otherwise kill me? Maintainer of all living entities, I am not prepared to fight with them, in exchange for the three worlds. Let alone this earth, what pleasure will we derive from killing the sons of Dhritarashtra? Such aggressors. Therefore it is not proper for us to kill the sons of Dhritarashtra and our friends. What should we gain, O Krishna, husband of the goddess of fortune, and how could we be happy by killing our own kinsmen? O Janardana, although these men, their hearts are overtaken by greed, see no fault in killing one's family or quarrelling with friends, why should we, who can see the crime in destroying a family, engage in these acts of sin? With the destruction of the dynasty, the eternal family tradition is vanquished, and thus the rest of the new religion. When new religion is prominent in the family, O Krishna, the women of the family become polluted, and from the degradation of womanhood, O descendant of Vrishni, come unwanted progeny. This and unwanted population certainly causes hellish life, both for the family and for those who destroy the family tradition. Ancestors of such corrupt families fall down because the performances for offering them food and water entirely stopped. By the evil deeds of those who destroy the family tradition and thus give rise to unwanted children, all kinds of community projects and family welfare activities are devastated. O Krishna, maintainer of the people, I've heard by disciplic succession, those whose family traditions are destroyed are always in hell. How strange it is they were preparing to commit greatly sinful acts, driven by the desire to enjoy royal happiness. We are intent on killing our own kinsmen. Weapon in hand, were to kill me unarmed and unresisting on the battlefield. Sanjaya said, Arjuna, having thus spoken on the battlefield, cast aside his bow and arrows and sat down on the chariot, his mind overwhelmed with grief. Chapter 2, Contents of the Gita summarized.
Sanjaya said, seeing Arjuna full of compassion, his mind depressed, his eyes full of tears, Madhusudana Krishna spoke the following words. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the value of life. They lead not to higher planets, but to infamy. O son of Pritha, do not yield to this degrading impotence. It does not become you. Give up such petty weaknesses of heart, and arise, O chastiser of the enemy. Arjuna said, O killer of enemies, O killer of Madhu, how can I counterattack with arrows in battle men like Bhishma and Drona, who are worthy of my worship? It would be better to live in this world by begging than to live at the cost of the lives of great souls who are my teachers. Even though desiring worldly gain, they are superiors. If they are killed, everything we enjoy will be tainted with blood. Nor do we know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them. If we kill the sons of Dhritarashtra, we should not care to live, yet they are now standing before us on the battlefield. Now I am confused about my duty, and have lost all composure due to miserly weakness. In this condition I am asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. Now I am your disciple, and a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. I can find no means to drive away this grief, which is drying up my senses. I will not be able to dispel it, even if I win a prosperous, unrivaled kingdom on earth, with sovereignty like the demigods in heaven. Sanjaya said, having spoken thus, Arjuna, chastiser of enemies, told Krishna, Govinda, I shall not fight. Fell silent. O descendant of Bharata, at that time, Krishna, smiling in the midst of both the armies, spoke the following words to the grief-stricken Arjuna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, while speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress, and their disappearance in due course, are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They arise from sense perception, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. O best among men, Arjuna, the person who is not disturbed by happiness and distress and is steady in both is certainly eligible for liberation. Those who are seers of the truth have concluded that of the non-existence, the material body, there is no endurance, and of the eternal, the soul, there is no change. This they have concluded by studying the nature of both.
That which pervades the entire body.
You should know to be indestructible. No one can be able to destroy that imperishable soul. The material body of the indestructible, immeasurable and eternal living entity is sure to come to an end. Therefore fight, O descendant of Bharata. Neither he who thinks the living entity is slain, nor he who thinks it slain is in knowledge. For the self slays not, nor is slain. For the soul there is neither birth nor death at any time. It does not come into being, and will not come into being. He is unborn, eternal, ever-existing and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain. O Bharata, a person who knows that the soul is indestructible, eternal, unborn and immutable, kill anyone or cause anyone to kill. As a person puts on new garments, giving up old ones, the soul similarly accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless ones. The soul can never be cut to pieces by any weapon, nor burned by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by the wind. This individual soul is unbreakable and insoluble, and can be neither burned nor dried. He is everlasting, present everywhere, unchangeable, immovable, and eternally the same. It is said that the soul is invisible, inconceivable, and immutable. Knowing this, you should not grieve for the body. If, however, you think that the soul, or the symptoms of life, is always born and dies forever, you still have no reason to lament, O mighty arm. One who has taken his birth is sure to die, and after death one is sure to take birth again. Therefore, in the unavoidable discharge of your duty, you should not lament. All created beings are unmanifested in their beginning, manifest in their interim state, and unmanifest again when annihilated. So what need is there for lamentation? Some look on the soul as amazing, some describe him as amazing, and some hear of him as amazing, while others, even after hearing about him, cannot understand him at all. O descendant of Bharata, he who dwells in the body can never be slain. Therefore you need not grieve for any living being. Considering your specific duty as a Kshatriya, you should know that there is no better engagement for you than fighting on religious principles, and so there is no need for hesitation. O Bharata, happy are the Kshatriyas to whom such fighting opportunities come unsought, opening for them the doors of the heavenly planets. If, however, you do not perform your duty of fighting, then you will certainly incur sins for neglecting your duties, thus lose your reputation as a fighter. People always speak of your infamy, and for a respectable person, dishonor is worse than death. The great generals who have highly esteemed your name and fame will think that you have left the battlefield out of fear only, and thus they will consider you insignificant. Your enemies will describe you in many unkind words and scorn your ability. What could be more painful for you? O son of Kunti, either you will be killed on the battlefield and attain the heavenly planets, or you will conquer and enjoy the earthly kingdom. Therefore get up with determination and fight. Do thou fight for the sake of fighting, without considering happiness or distress, loss or gain, victory or defeat, and by doing so you shall never incur sin. Thus far I have described this knowledge to you through analytical study. Now listen as I explain it in terms of working without fruitive results. The son of Pritha, when you act in such knowledge, you can free yourself from the bondage of works. In this endeavor there is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. Those who are on this path are resolute in purpose, and the aim is one. O beloved child of the Kurus, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many-branched. Men of small knowledge are very much attached to the flowery words of the Vedas, which recommend various fruitive activities for elevation to heavenly planets, resultant good birth, power, and so forth. Desirous of sense gratification and opulent life, they say that there is nothing more than this. In the minds of those who are too attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence, and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination for devotional service to the Supreme Lord does not take place. The Vedas deal mainly with the subjects of the three modes of material nature. O Arjuna, become transcendental to these three modes. Be free from all dualities, from all anxieties, for gain and safety, and be established in the Self. All purposes served by a small well can at once be served by a great reservoir of water. Similarly, all the purposes of the Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them. You have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself in the cause of the results of your activities, and never be attached to not doing your duty. Perform your duty equipoised, O Arjuna, abandoning all attachment to success or failure. Such equanimity is called yoga. O Dhananjaya, keep all abominable activities far distant by devotional service, and in that consciousness surrender unto the Lord. Those who want to enjoy the fruits of their work are misers. Man engaged in devotional service rids himself of both good and bad actions, even in this life. Therefore strive for yoga, which is the art of all work. By thus engaging in devotional service to the Lord, great sages or devotees free themselves from the results of work in the material world. This way they become free from the cycle of birth and death, and attain the state beyond all miseries by going back to Godhead. When your intelligence has passed out of the dense forest of delusion, you become indifferent to all that has been heard and all that is to be heard. When your mind is no longer disturbed by the flowery language of the Vedas, and when it remains fixed in the trance of self-realization, then you will have attained the divine consciousness. Arjuna said, O Krishna, what are the symptoms of one whose consciousness is thus merged in transcendence? How does he speak? What is his language? How does he sit and how does he walk? The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, when a man gives up all varieties of desire for sense gratification, which arise from mental concoction, his mind, thus purified, finds satisfaction in the self alone, and he is said to be in pure transcendental consciousness. One who is not disturbed in mind, even amidst the threefold miseries, or elated when there is happiness, and who is free from attachment, fear, and anger, is called a sage of steady mind. In the material world, one who is unaffected by whatever good or evil he may obtain, neither praising it nor despising it, is firmly fixed in perfect knowledge. One who is able to withdraw his senses from the sense objects, as the tortoise draws its limbs within the shell, is firmly fixed in perfect consciousness. The embodied soul may be restricted from sense enjoyment, though the taste for sense objects remains. But ceasing such engagements, by experiencing a higher taste, he is fixed in consciousness. Senses are so strong and impetuous, Arjuna, that they forcibly carry away the mind, even of a man of discrimination,
who is endeavoring to control them. One who restrains his senses, keeping them under full control, and fixes his consciousness upon me, is known as a man of steady intelligence. While contemplating the objects of the senses, a person develops attachment for them, and from such attachment lust develops, and from lust anger arises. From anger complete delusion arises, and for delusion bewilderment of memory. When memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost, and when intelligence is lost, one falls down again into the material pool. But a person free from all attachment and aversion, able to control his senses through regulative principles of freedom, can obtain the complete mercy of the Lord. For one thus satisfied in Krishna consciousness, The threefold miseries of material existence exist no longer in such a satisfied consciousness. One's intelligence is soon well established. One who is not connected with the Supreme in Krishna consciousness can have neither transcendental intelligence nor a steady mind, without which there is no possibility of peace. And how can there be any happiness without peace? As a strong wind sweeps away a boat on the water, even one of the roaming senses on which the mind focuses can carry away a man's intelligence. Therefore, O mighty armed one who those senses are restrained from their objects is certainly of a steady intelligence. What is night for all beings is the time of awakening for the self-controlled, and the time of awakening for the beings is night for the introspective sage. A person who is not disturbed by the intense flow of desires that enter like rivers into the ocean, which is ever being filled out, is always still. Can alone achieve peace and not the man who strives to satisfy such desires. A person who has given up all desires for sense gratification, who lives free from desires, who has given up all sense of proprietorship and is devoid of false ego, he alone can attain real peace. That is the way of the spiritual and godly life, after attaining which a man is not bewildered. If one is thus situated even at the hour of death, one can enter into the kingdom of God. Chapter. Arjuna said, O Janardhan, O Keshav, why do you want to engage me in his casty warfare if you think that intelligence is better than fruitive work? My intelligence is bewildered by your equivocal instructions. Therefore, please test me decisively which will be the most beneficial for me. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O sinless Arjuna, I have already explained that there are two classes of man who try to realize the self. Some are inclined to understand it by empirical, philosophical speculation, and others by devotional service. Nor by merely abstaining from work can one achieve freedom from reaction, nor by renunciation alone can one attain perfection. Everyone is forced to have according to the qualities he has acquired from the modes of material nature. Therefore, no one can refrain from doing something, not even for a moment. One who is restrained the senses of action, but whose mind dwells on sense objects, certainly deludes himself and is called a pedant. On the other hand, if a sincere person tries to control the active senses by the mind and begins karma yoga in Krishna consciousness without attachment, he is by far superior. Perform your prescribed duty, for doing so is better than not working. One cannot even maintain one's physical body without work. Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed, otherwise work causes bondage in this material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for his satisfaction, and in that way you will always remain free from bondage. In the beginning of creation, the Lord of all creatures sent 4 generations of man and demigods, along with sacrifices for Vishnu, and blessed by, be thou happy by this yashna sacrifice, because its performance will bestow upon you everything desirable for living happy and achieving liberation. The demigods, being pleased by sacrifices, will also please you, and thus by cooperation between man and demigods, prosperity will reign all for all. The charge of various necessities of life, the demigods, being satisfied by the performance of yashna sacrifice, will supply all necessities to you. But he who enjoys such gifts without offering them to the demigods in return is certainly a thief. The devotees of the Lord are all released for all kinds of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. Others who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment verily eat only sin. All living bodies subsist on food grains which are produced from rains. Rains are produced by performance of yashna sacrifice, and yashna is born for prescribed duties. Regulated activities are prescribed in the Vedas, and the Vedas are directly manifested from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Consequently, the all-pervading transcendence is eternally situated in acts of sacrifice. My dear Arjun, One who does not follow in human life the cycle of sacrifice thus established by the Vedas certainly leads a life full of sin. Living only for the satisfaction of the senses, such a person lives in vain. But for one who takes pleasure in the self, whose human life is one of self-realization, and who is satisfied in the self only, fully satisfied or him, there is no duty. A self-realized man has no purpose to fulfill in the discharge of his prescribed duties, nor has he any reason not to perform such work, nor has he any need to depend on any other living being. Therefore, without being attached to the fruits of activities, one should act as a matter of duty. No, for working without attachment, one attains the supremes. Kings such as Janak attained perfection solely by performance of prescribed duties. Therefore, just for the sake of educating the people in general, you should perform your work. Whatever action a great man performs, common men follow. And whatever standards he sets by explaining acts, all the world pursues. O son of Pratha, there is no work prescribed for me within all the three planetary systems, nor am in want anything, nor I have a need to obtain anything, and yet I am engaged in prescribed duties. For if I ever failed to engage in carefully performing prescribed duties, O Partha, certainly all men would follow my path. I would be their cause of creating unwanted population, and I would therefore destroy the peace of all living beings. As the ignorant perform duties with attachment to results, the learned may similarly act, but without attachment for the sake of leading people on the right path. So as not to disturb the minds of ignorant men attached to the fruitive results of prescribed duties, a learned person should not induce them to stop work. Rather, by working in the spirit of devotion, he should engage them in all sorts of activities for the gradual development of Krishna consciousness. The spirit soul, bewildered by the influence of false ego, thinks himself the doer of activities they are not in actually carried out by the three modes of material nature. One who is in knowledge of the absolute truth, O mighty arm, does not engage himself in the sense and sense gratification, knowing well the differences between the work in devotion and work for fruitive results. Bewildered by the modes of material nature, the ignorant fully engage themselves in the material activities and become attached. But the wise should not unsettle them, although these duties are inferior due to the performer's lack of knowledge. Therefore, O Arjuna, surrendering all your works unto me, with full knowledge of me, without desires for profit, with no claims to proprietorship, and free from lethargy, fight. Those persons who execute their duties according to my injunctions and who follow these teachings faithfully, without envy, become free from the bondage of fruitive actions. But those who out of envy discard these teachings and do not follow them are to be considered bereft of all knowledge, befooled and ruined in their endeavors for perfection. Even a man of knowledge acts according to his own nature, for everyone follows the nature he has acquired from the three modes. What can represent accomplish? There are principles to regulate attachment and aversion pertaining to the senses and their objects. One should not come under the control of such attachment and aversion, because they are stumbling blocks on the path of self-realization. It is far better to discharge one's prescribed duties, even though faultily, than another duties perfectly. Destruction in the course of performing one's own duty is better than engaging in another's duty, for to follow another's path is dangerous. Arjuna said, O descendant of Vrishni, by what is one impelled to sinful acts, even unwillingly, if he engaged by force? The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, it is lust only, Arjuna, which is born of contact with the material mode of passion and later transformed into the Vad, and which is the all-devouring sinful enemy of this world. As fire is covered by smoke, as a mirror is covered by dust, and as the embryo is covered by the womb, the living entity is similarly covered by different degrees of this lust. Thus the wise living entity's pure consciousness becomes covered by his eternal enemy in the form of lust, which is never satisfied and which burns like fire. The senses, the mind and the intelligence are the sitting places of this lust. Through them, lust covers the real knowledge of the living entity and bewilders him. Therefore, O Arjuna, best of Bharatas, in the very beginning curb this great symbol of sin, lust, by regulating the senses and stay this destroyer of knowledge and self-realization. The working senses are superior to dull metal. Mind is higher than the senses. Intelligence is still higher than the mind, and the soul is even higher than intelligence. Thus knowing oneself to be transcendental to the material senses, mind and intelligence, O mighty armed Arjuna, one should steady the mind by deliberate spiritual intelligence, Krishna consciousness, and thus by spiritual strength conquer this insatiable enemy known as lust. The personality of Godhead said, instructed this imperishable science of yoga to the sun god, Vivishna, and Vivashan instructed this to Manu, the father of mankind, and Manu in turn instructed it to Ishvak. This supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the Santi kings understood in that way. But in course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it appears to be lost. That very ancient science of the relationship with the Supreme is today told by me to you, because you are my devotee as well as my friend, and can therefore understand the transcendental mystery of this science. Arjuna said, the sun god Vivishna is senior by birth to you. How am I to understand that in the beginning you instructed this science to him? The personality of Godhead said, many, many births both you and I have passed. I can remember all of them, but you cannot. O subduer of the enemy. Although I am born and the transcendental body never deteriorates, and although I am the Lord of all living entities, I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form. Whenever and wherever there is decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharat, and predominant rise of religion, at that time I descend myself. To deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreant, as well as to re-establish the principle of religion, I myself appear millennium after millennium. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. Being freed from attachment, fear and anger, being fully absorbed in me and taking refuge in me, many persons in the past become purified by knowledge of me, and thus they all attain transcendental love for me. As all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Pratha. Men in this world desire successes in fruitive activities, and therefore they worship the demigods. Quickly, of course, men get results from the fruitive work in this world. According to the three modes of material nature and the work associated with them, the four divisions of human society are created by me. And although I am the creator of this system, you should know that I am yet the non-doer, being unchangeable. There is no work that affects me, nor do I aspire for the fruits of action. One who understands this truth about me also does not become entangled in the fruitive reactions of work. All the liberated souls in ancient times acted with this understanding of my transcendental nature. Therefore, you should perform your duty following in their footsteps. Even the intelligent are bewildered in determining what is action and what is inaction. Now I shall explain to you what action is, knowing which you shall be liberated from all misfortune. The intricacies of actions are very hard to understand. Therefore, one should know properly what action is, what forbidden action is, and what inaction is. One who sees inaction in action and action in action is intelligent among men, and he is in the transcendental position, although engaged in all sorts of activities. One is understood to be in full knowledge, whose every endeavor is devoid to desire for sense gratification. He is said by sages to be worker for whom the reactions of work have been by the fire of perfect knowledge. Abandoning all attachment to the results of his activities, ever satisfied and independent, he performs no fruitive actions, although engaged in all kinds of undertakings. Such a man of understanding acts with mind and intelligence, perfectly controlled, gives up all the senses of proprietorship, even of his possessions, and all acts only for the bare necessities of life. Thus working, he is not affected by sinful reactions. He who is satisfied with gain, which comes of its own accord, who is free from duality and does not envy, who is steady in both success and failure, is never entangled, although performing actions. The work of a man who is unattached to the modes of material nature and who is fully situated in transcendental knowledge merges entirely into transcendence. A person who is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness is sure to attain the spiritual kingdom because of his full contribution to spiritual activities, in which the consumption is absolute and which is offered in the same spiritual nature. Some yogis perfectly worship the demigods by offering different sacrifices to them, and some of them offer sacrifices in the fire of Supreme Brahman. Some unadulterated brahmacharis sacrifice the hearing process and the senses in the fire of mental control, and others, the regulated householders, sacrifice the objects of senses in the fire of senses. Others who are interested in achieving self-realization, through control of the mind and senses, offer the functions of all the senses and of the life breath as obligations into the fire of the controlled mind. Having accepted strict vows, some become enlightened by sacrificing their possessions, and others by performing severe austerities, by practicing the yoga of eightfold mysticism, or by studying the Vedas in advance in transcendental knowledge. Still others who are inclined to the process of birth, restrained to remain in trance, practice by offering the movement of the outgoing breath into the incoming, and the incoming breath into the outgoing, and thus at last remains in trance, stopping all breathing. Others, certainly the eating process, offer the outgoing breath into self as a sacrifice. All these performers who know the meaning of sacrifice become cleansed of the sinful reactions, and having tasted the nectar of the results of sacrifice, they advance towards the supreme eternal atmosphere. O best of Kuru dynasty, without sacrifice one can never live happily on this planet or in this life. What then to speak the next? All these different types of sacrifice are approved by the Vedas, and all of them are born of different types of work. Knowing them as such, you will become liberated. O chastiser of the enemy, the sacrifice performed in the knowledge is better than the mere sacrifice of material possessions. After all, O son of Pratha, all sacrifices of work culminating in transcendental knowledge. Just try to learn the truth of approaching a spiritual master, inquiring from him submissively, and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. Having obtained real knowledge from a self-realized souls, you will never fall again into such illusion. For by this knowledge, you will see that all living beings are but part of the Supreme, or in other words, they are mine. Even if you are considered to be the most sinful of all sinners, when you are situated in the boat of transcendental knowledge, you will be able to cross over the ocean of miseries. As a blazing fire turns firewood to ashes, O Arjuna, so does the fire of knowledge burn to ashes all reactions of material activities. In this world, there is nothing so sublime and pure as transcendental knowledge. Such knowledge is the major fruit of all mysticism, and one who has become accomplished in the practice of devotional service enjoys this knowledge within himself in due course of time. A faithful man who is dedicated to transcendental knowledge and who subdues his senses is eligible to achieve such knowledge, and having achieved it, by quickly attains the supreme spiritual peace. But ignorant and faithful persons who doubt the revealed scriptures do not attain God consciousness. They fall down. For the doubting soul there is happiness neither in this world nor in the next. One who acts in devotional service, renouncing the fruits of his actions, and whose doubts have been destroyed by transcendental knowledge, is situated factually in the self.
Thus he is not bound by the reactions of work, O conqueror of riches.
Therefore the doubts which have arisen in your heart out of ignorance should be slashed by the weapon of knowledge. Armed with yoga, O Bharata, stand and fight. Chapter 5. Arjuna said, O Krishna, first of all you asked me to renounce the work, and then again you recommend work with devotion. Now you will kindly tell me definitely which of these two is more beneficial. The personality of Godhead replied, the renunciation of work and work in devotion are both good for liberation. But of the two, work in devotional service is better than renunciation of work. One who neither hates nor desires the fruit of his activities is known as always renounced. Such a person, free from all dualities, easily overcomes the material bondage and is completely liberated. O mighty armed Arjuna! Only the ignorant spoke of devotional service, karma yoga, as bit different from the analytical study of material world, Sankhya. Those who are actually learned say that who applies himself well to one of these paths achieves the results of both. One who knows that the position reached by means of analytical study can also be attained by devotional service, and who therefore sees analytical study and devotional service to be on the same level, sees the things as they are. Merely renouncing all activities yet not engaging in the devotional service of the Lord cannot make anyone happy. But a thoughtful person engaged in devotional service can achieve the supreme without delay. One who works in devotion, who is pure soul, and who controls his mind and senses is dear to everyone, and everyone is dear to him. Though always working, such a man is never entangled. A person in the divine consciousness, although engaged in seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, moving about, sleeping and breathing, always knows within himself that he actually does nothing at all. Because while speaking,
evacuating, receiving,
or opening or closing his eyes, he always knows that only the material senses are engaged with their objects and that is aloof from them. One who performs his duty without attachment, surrendering the results onto the Supreme Lord, is unaffected by sinful actions as the lotus leaf is untouched by water. The yogi is abandoning the attachment act with body, mind, intelligence, and even with the senses only for the purpose of purification. The steadily devoted soul attains unadulterated peace because he offers the results of all activities to me. Whereas a person who is not in union with the divine, who is greedy of fruits of his labor, becomes entangled. When the embodied living beings control his nature and mentally renounces all the actions, he resides happily in the city of 9 gates, the material body, neither working nor causing work to be done. The embodied spirit master of city of his body does not create activities, nor does he induce people to act, nor does he create the fruits of action. All this is enacted by the modes of material nature. Nor does the Supreme Lord assume anyone's sinful or pious activities. Embodied beings, however, are bewildered because of the ignorance which covers their real knowledge. When, however, one is enlightened within the knowledge by which nescience is destroyed, then his knowledge reveals everything, as the sun lights up everything in the daytime. When one's intelligence, mind, faith and refuge of all are fixed in the Supreme, then one becomes fully cleansed of misgivings through complete knowledge, and thus proceeds straight on the path of liberation. The humble sages, by virtue of true knowledge, see with equal vision a learned and gentle Brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog-eater, outcast. Those whose minds are established in sameness and equanimity have already conquered the conditions of birth and death. They are flawless like Brahman, and thus they are already situated in Brahman. A person who neither rejoices upon achieving something pleasant nor laments upon attaining something unpleasant, who is self-intelligent, who is unbewildered, and who knows the signs of God, is already situated in transcendence. Such a liberated person is not attracted to material sense pleasure, but is always in trance, enjoying the pleasures within. In this way, the self-realized person enjoys the unlimited happiness, for he concentrates on the Supreme. An intelligent person does not take part in the sources of misery which are due to contact with the material senses. O son of Kunti, such pleasures have beginning and end. So the wise man does not delight in them. Before giving up this present body, if one is able to tolerate the urges of the material senses and check the force of desire and anger, he is well situated and is happy in this world. One whose happiness is within, who is active and rejoices within, and whose aim is inward is actually the perfect mystic. He is liberated in the Supreme and ultimately he attains the Supreme. Those who are beyond the dualities that arise from the doubts, whose minds are engaged within, who are always busy working for the welfare of all living beings, and who are free from all sins and achieve the liberation in the Supreme. Those who are free from anger and all material desires, and who are self-realized, self-disciplined, and constantly endeavoring for perfection, are assured of liberation in the Supreme in the very near future. Shutting out all the external sense objects, keeping the eyes and vision concentrated between the two eyebrows, suspending the inward and outward breaths within the nostrils, and thus controlling the mind, senses and intelligence, and the transcendental place aiming at liberation becomes free from desire, fear and anger. One who is always in this state is certainly liberated. A person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, the Supreme Lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material miseries. Chapter 6, Dhyana Yoga. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, one who is unattached to the fruits of his work, and who works as he is obliged in the renounced order of life, and he is in true mystic, not he lights, no fire, performs no duty. What is called renunciation, you should know to be the same as yoga, or linking oneself with the Supreme. O son of Pandu, for one can never become a yogi unless he renounces the desire for sense gratification. For one who is neophyte in the eightfold yoga system, work is said to be the means, and for one who is already elevated in yoga, cessation of all material activities is said to be the means. A person is said to be elevated in yoga when, having renounced all material desires, he neither acts for sense gratification nor engages in fruitive activities. One must deliver himself with the help of his mind and not degrade himself. The mind is a friend of the conditioned soul and his enemy as well. For him who has conquered the mind is the best of friends. But for one who has failed to do so, his mind will remain the greatest enemy. For one who has conquered the mind, the supersoul is already reached, for he has attained tranquility. To such a man, happiness and distress, heat and cold, honor and dishonor are all the same. A person is said to be established in self-realization and is called a yogi or mystic when he is fully satisfied by the virtue of acquired knowledge and realization. Such a person is situated in transcendence and is self-controlled. He sees everything, whether it is pebbles, stones or gold, as the same. A person is considered still further advanced when he regards honest well-wishers, affectionate benefactors and the neutral meditators, the envious friends and enemies, the pious and the sinners, all with an equal mind. A transcendentalist should always engage his body, mind and self-realization with the Supreme. He should not live alone in a secluded place and should always carefully control his mind. He should be free from desires and feelings of possessiveness. To proactive yoga, one should go to the secluded place and should lay kusha grass on the ground and then cover it with a soft cloth. To sit should be neither too high nor too low and should be situated in a sacred place. The yogi should then sit on them.
This is the yoga purpurium. And activities fixing the mind on one point.
One should hold one's body, neck and head erect in a straight line and stare steadily at the tip of the nose. Thus, with the agitated, subdued mind, devoid of fear, completely free from sex life, one should meditate upon me within the heart and make me the ultimate goal of life.
Thus practicing the constant control of the body, mind and activities, the mystic transcendentalist, his mind regulated attains to the kingdom of God or abode of Krishna by cessation of material existence. There is no possibility of one becoming a yogi, O Arjuna, if one eats too much or too little, sleeps too much or does not sleep enough. He who is regulated in his habits of eating, sleeping, recreation and work can mitigate all material pains by practicing the yoga system. When the yogi by the practice of yoga disciples his mental activities and becomes situated in transcendence, devoid of all material desires, he is said to be well established in the yoga. As a lamp in brightness place does not waver, so the transcendentalist whose mind is controlled remains always steady in his meditation on the transcendent itself. In the stage of perfection called trance samadhi, this perfection is characterized by one's ability to see the self by the pure mind and to relish and to rejoice in the self. In that joyous state, one is situated in boundless transcendental happiness, realized through transcendental senses, established thus, one never departs from the truth, and upon getting this, he thinks he is no greater gain. Being situated in such a position, one is never shaken, even in the midst of greatest difficulty. This indeed is actual freedom from all miseries arising from material. One should engage oneself in the practice of yoga with determination and faith, and not to be deviated from the path. One should abandon without exception all material desires born of mental speculation, and thus control all the senses on all sides of the mind. Gradually, step by step, one should become situated in trance by means of intelligence sustained by full conviction, and thus the mind should be fixed on the self alone and should think of nothing else. From wherever the mind wanders due to its flickering and unsteady nature, one must certainly withdraw it and bring it back under the control of the self. The yogi whose mind is fixed on me rarely attains the highest perfection of transcendental happiness. He is beyond the mode of passion. He realizes his qualitative identity within the Supreme, and thus he is freed from the reactions of past deeds. Thus the self-controlled yogi constantly engaged in yoga practice becomes free from all material contamination and achieves the highest stage of perfect happiness in transcendental loving service of the Lord. A true yogi observes me in all beings and all sees every being. Indeed, the self-realized person sees me, the same Supreme Lord, everywhere. For one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, I am never lost, nor is he ever lost in me. Such a yogi engaged in worship, the service of Super Soul, knowing that I and the Super Soul are one, remains always in me in all circumstances. He is a perfect yogi who, by comparison to his own self, sees the true equality of beings in both either happiness and their distress, O Arjuna. Arjuna said, O Madhusudan, the system of yoga which you have summarized appears impractical and intelligible to me. For the mind is restless and unsteady. For the mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate and very strong. O Krishna, and to subdue it, I think more difficult than controlling the wind. Lord Shri Krishna said, O mighty armed son of Kunti, it is undoubtedly very difficult to curb the restless mind, but it is possible by suitable practice and by detachment. For one whose mind is unbridled, self-realization is difficult work. But he whose mind is controlled and who strives by appropriate means is assured for success. That is my opinion. Arjuna said, O Krishna, what is the destination of the unsuccessful transcendentalist, who in the beginning takes to the process of self-realization with faith, but who later deceases due to the worldly mindedness and thus does not attain perfection in mysticism? O mighty armed Krishna, does not such a man who is bewildered from the path of transcendence fall away from both spiritual and material success and perish like a driven cloud with no position in any sphere? This is my doubt, O Krishna, and I ask you to dispel it completely. But for you, no one is to be found who can destroy this doubt. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said,
son of Pratha, a transcendentalist engaged in auspicious activities, does not meet with destruction, neither in this world or in the spiritual world. One who does good, my friend, is never overcome by evil. The unsuccessful yogi, after many years of enjoyment on the planets of the pious living activities, is born into a family of righteous people or into a family of rich aristocracy. Or if unsuccessful after long practice of yoga, he takes with birth in a family of transcendentalists who are surely great in wisdom. Certainly such a birth is rare in this world. On taking such a birth, he revives the divine consciousness of his previous life, and he again tries to make further progress in order to achieve the complete success, O son of Kuru. By virtue of the divine consciousness of his previous life, he automatically becomes attracted to the yogic principles, even without seeking them. Such an inquisitive transcendentalist stands always above the ritualistic principles of the scriptures. And when the yogi engages himself with the sincere endeavor in making further progress, being washed of all contamination, then ultimately achieving perfection after many births of practice, he attains the supreme goal. A yogi is greater than ascetic, greater than the emphatic, and greater than the fruity worker. Therefore, Arjuna, in all circumstances, be a yogi. And of all the yogis, the one with great faith, who always abides in me, thinks of me within himself, and renders transcendental loving service to me, he is the most intimately united with me in yoga, and is the highest of all. That is my opinion. Chapter 7, Knowledge of Absolute. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Now hear, O son of Pratha, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt. I shall now declare unto you in full knowledge, both phenomenal and numinous. This being known, nothing further shall remain for you to know. I shall, out of many thousands amongst men, one may endeavor for perfection, and of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego, all together these 8 constitute my spiritual material energies. Besides this, O mighty young Arjuna, there is another superior energy of mind, which comprises the living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature. All created beings have their source in those 2 natures. Of all that is material and that is spiritual in this world, know for certain that I am both the origin and the dissolution. O conqueror of earth, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as the pearls are strung on a thread. O son of Kunti, I am the taste of water, the light of the sun and the moon, the syllable Om in the Vedic mantras. I am the sound in ether and ability in the man. I am the origin and fragrance of all earth, and I am the heat in fire. I am the life of all that lives, and I am the penances of all ascetics. O son of Pratha, know that I am the original seed of all existence, the intelligence of intelligent, and the powers of powerful man. I am the strength of the strong, devoid of passion and desire. I am the sex life which is not contrary to religious principles, O Lord of Bharatas, Arjuna. Know that all states of being, be they good, passion, or ignorance, are manifested by my energy. I am in one sense everything, but I am dependent. I am not under the modes of material nature, for they are contrary are within me. Deluded by the 3 modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance, the whole world does not know me. Who am I above the modes and inexhaustible? This divine energy of mind, consisting of the 3 modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome, but those who have subdued me can easily cross beyond it. Those miscreants who are grossly foolish, who are lowest among the mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who are partaking of the materialistic nature of the demons, do not surrender unto me. O best among the Bharatas, 4 kinds of pious men begin to render devotional service unto me: the distressed, the desire of wealth, the inquisitives, and he knows the searching for knowledge of the Absolute. Of this, the one who is in the full knowledge and who is always engaged in pure devotional service is the best. I am
For I am very dear to him, and he is dear to me. All these devotees are undoubtedly magnanimous souls, but he who is situated in the knowledge of me, I consider to be just like my own self. Being engaged in my transcendental service, he is sure to attain me, the highest and the most perfect goal. After many births, he who is actually in the knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. Those whose intelligence has been stolen by material desires surrender unto demigods and follow the particular rules and regulations of worship according to their own nature. I am everyone's heart,
as soon as one desired to worship some demigod,
I make his faith steady so that he can devote himself to that particular deity.
Endowed with such a faith, he endeavors to worship a particular demigod and obtains his desires.
But actually these benefits are bestowed upon me alone.
Many of small intelligence worship the demigods,
and their fruits are limited and temporary. Those who worship the demigods know the planets of the demigods,
but my devotees ultimately reach my supreme planet.
Unintelligent man
who do not know the perfectly
think that I am the Supreme Personality
of Godhead Krishna
was impersonal before that, and now assume this personality.
Due to their small knowledge, they do not know my higher nature, which is
imperishable knowledge,
and never manifest to the foolish and unintelligent. For them I am covered by my eternal potency, and therefore do not know that I am unborn and infallible.
O Arjuna, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I know everything that has happened in the past, all that is happening in the present, and all the things that are yet to come. Also know all living entities, but me no one knows. The son of Bharata, conqueror of Fu, all living entities are born into delusion, bewildered by duality's horizon from desire and hate. Whose sinful actions are completely intelligent persons who are endeavoring for liberation from old age and death take refuge in me in devotional service. They are actually Brahmans because they entirely know everything about transcendental activities. Those in full consciousness of me, who know me, the Supreme Lord, to be the governing principle of the material manifestation of the demigod and
all of methods of sacrifice, can understand and know me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even at the time of death. Chapter 8. Arjuna, O my Lord, O Supreme Person, what is Brahman? What is self? What are fruitive activities? What is this material manifestation? And what are the demigods? Please explain this to me. Who is the Lord of sacrifice? And how does he live in the body, O Madhusudan? And how can those engaged in devotional service know you at the time of death? The Supreme Personality of Godhead says, the
indestructible transcendental living entity is called Brahman, and his eternal nature is called the Atma, the Self. Action pertaining to the development of material bodies of the living entities is called karma, or fruitive activities. O best of embodied being,
the physical nature which is constantly changing is called
Adibhuta,
the material manifestation. The universal form of the Lord, which includes all the demigods, like those of the sun and the moon, is called
Adideva. And I, the Supreme Lord,
Supreme Soul, in the heart of every embodied being, am called the Lord of Sacrifice.